normal day.
Okay. Do
Yeah.
you have like assignments or homeworks from school? You don't have it?
I do have a bit of it. I got to remember this really boring thing. I will
Mm-hmm.
show you here
Okay.
through my
What are
very
those
fancy
boring
back.
things? Okay. What are those?
Yeah,
Hold on.
hydrogen, helium,
Oh, it's about
lithium, barium,
science. Okay. Is it the periodic table?
nitrogen, oxygen. Mm, yes, I got to remember
Uh-huh.
20 of them. That is 20 things I got to remember. Next,
Oh.
I also got to remember which order are they in. And then I also need to remember how do they even write it. And I also need to
Uh-huh.
remember how do they even write in. Yeah, I don't know why am I even learning this. Oh, and
Oh.
then I think in a very far future, I got to remember all of these. All of these. Yeah, never.
Actually, we are forced to memorize it when I was in high school. When I'm on my
And then,
ninth grade, I think.
yes, and now I'm kind of wondering when am I even going to use this? Hmm,
I don't know,
when?
maybe for your upcoming experiments when you reach your higher level. It is
Wow,
also discussed in college. Mm-hmm.
that's a problem.
That is a
I got to
problem.
remember a lot.
Okay, but in college you were not like expected to memorize it as long as you know those those inside the periodic table, then I think you could pass the science class. Okay,
Yes, I also think
what is the
so.
first element in the periodic table? It is with initial H.
Hydrogen,
Yes, it is.
hydrogen,
What about something that stands for K?
helium or something.
K,
Yeah, no,
but
hydrogen.
that
Kali? Oh, I know. Kali,
no.
Kali.
It is near with the word assume. What is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, it is potassium.
Oh,
Okay.
potassium.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Okay.
that is weird. I never really heard of it. I
Mm,
thinking that I shouldn't have I am trying to remember it while I'm trying to also test myself. Like I'm
yes.
taking a picture of it, I would put it on my computer, and then I would test myself. I would try to put the word in the correct order. Yes.
Yeah, you should try it. Okay. And it is way effective if you know the first and the last, the stair like thing on the periodic table because it is usually asked. I don't know in your
Yeah.
country if it is the same. Okay, anyways. Let's not
Yes, it's
put
supposed to be the
those
same. Don't you don't you think it is supposed to be the same? I think if
maybe
it is not,
because
I
it
think
is
if it is not the same, then it will
standardized
be
one.
weird.
Uh-huh. I
I don't
guess
know,
so.
I don't know what kind of I don't know what kind of weird people would think that they should be not the same.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue with that. Okay. So, okay, let's just move on from that topic. Now, I want to know if you can still remember the topic that we had the last time and tell me your insight about it.
Oh, look, we're talking about culture.
Mm-hmm. And what about culture?
Oh, it is about things like how like a holiday in it. Yes, things
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Okay, since you've mentioned the word
Yes,
holidays, do you think all of the holidays are actually part of the culture, or are there um specific holidays only that we can consider as a part of our culture?
I think that some holiday are not be considered as culture because it is celebrated all over the world. For example, Christmas or New Year. Yes, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of places actually celebrate that. So it's normally not considered to be like uh something that is only a part of the culture do. It's just like all
Okay.
over the world.
Mm-hmm. And usually Christmas, especially the Christmas, though it is a part of the celebration in a country because we have a diverse religion. For some religion, what I mean is it is not considered as a special day. Okay, it is not considered as an actual holiday because, for example, they were Islam, they were like, I mean, Muslims, they were like Hindus. Okay, so um, also is I wanna know, you visited Australia, right?
Yes, I
Okay,
do.
so what are the parts of their culture that shocks you? May I know your experience about culture shock? May I know?
Hmm. I my dad no no. The first time that we went to Australia, uh, we almost got into a accident because we don't know. Oh, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
rather culture shock because we don't know that the right on the left side of the road,
Mm-hmm.
not the right side. It's so weird to think about it.
Okay. So those were the common culture shock. What about with their food?
Oh, I think that their food is very fine. It's nothing that much of
Okay.
like too weird about it for me.
Uh-huh. Okay, it is not too weird because, okay, let's just say, for instance, that you are from America or you were from United States of America and you were used to eat fast foods, okay? And then you would like to eat bread, burger, pasta and all. Okay, I think pasta not much, but with lots of burgers, fries, all of those things. But when you came to an Asian country, okay, for example, in the Philippines, when an American visited the Philippines, they will be shocked because we love to eat rice, veggies or vegetables. We'd like to eat rice partnered with meat, okay, or meat dishes. What about in your
And
country?
vegetables.
Mm-hmm. What about
Oh, it's
in
just the
your
same.
country? Okay, you also eat rice?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, we do.
Okay. Okay. But may I know how many times in a day you have to eat rice in your country?
Like just almost every day.
Well, almost every day, but how many times in a day? When you die, you want to be
Oh, just
buried.
3 times in the morning.
Uh-huh.
Normally, in the morning, I often eat something
Uh-huh.
else, not rice, because I got to go to work. Oh, I mean, go to school fast,
I am
as
quite
fast
shocked with the
as
word.
possible.
I thought you were working now. Okay. Okay, let me read this one. When you die, I want to be buried or cremated. When I die, I want to be dressed like scuba diver and placed on top of Mount Everest. Yeah, that is actually witty. Okay.
Yes, just
Even the fact
imagine
that
me
you were
about it.
wearing a scuba diving suit that is supposedly under the water, but you were found with or by the climbers at the top of the Mount Everest, wherein you were not wearing like a mountaineer suit. What about this one? The moment you realize that Malay language is basically a mean ma'am. Oh, taxi,
Taxi, police,
ambulance, okay,
ambulance, product,
police, setem,
helicopter,
helicopter,
helicopter.
okay,
They,
and a product.
just thinking about- yes,
The
it's a lot of
product,
weird things.
okay. Actually, it is actually, I think, pronounced as product, taxi, police, ambulance, system, and helicopter. Okay, that is how Malay peoples would speak, I think. PC video games, their MOBA. Look at Incredible Hulk. It looks like an old what old stuffed toy. Okay. Okay, that is so pretty witty. Especially the abs. I like the abs. It can be drawn. Okay. Anyways, okay, since you were posting those memes, which is really funny, okay,
Sorry.
do you think in a country we can consider these things like making memes as also part of our culture? And why do you think so?
I think that memes is often not considered to be like a culture because it's people often don't like having memes that is
Mm-hmm.
funny about them as a culture most of the time.
Okay. And maybe as well, okay, we can consider memes as part of what? Can we consider it as a form of an art?
I think that's if you consider that to be one a form of an art, they would consider you to be weird. Just thinking about it.
Okay, actually, it can be considered as an art. I don't know what kind of
Yes.
thing it is specifically, but creating statements, okay, that can influence someone. For example, the poems. Okay, the poems that we are reading, sometimes they have like a deep meaning. So it can be considered as an art of words. So meaning when creating funny memes or funny statements, that can also be considered as what? As an art. Okay? So that
Yes.
is okay. That's why we can consider this one as also part of our culture. Okay. What about mhm, the other things that shocks you when visiting other countries?
Mm, I think that there's a high chance that it could also be things like how they are literally just doing anything.
Mm-hmm. Anything? What about the way they talk or the way they use their language, the way they bow their head? Do you think it is far different from Vietnamese culture?
I think yes, there is, and a lot of it is because like they don't exactly like live in somewhere like that. Oh, also, I see that they don't usually just eat rice. They eat something like bread.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a lot of bread.
Okay,
Like just a
lots of
whole lot of bread. Like literally, like they just use it as their normal foods.
mm-hmm.
Like literally, you could literally just see them eating bread for the 17 days of the week.
Actually, okay, speaking of okay, let's say rice, okay, not bread. But in our country, okay, we can eat um rice, okay, partnered with some sort of cuisines with during morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner. We can also eat rice as serving as our snacks. Okay, so that's why we eat rice like three or more. I mean, 3+ times in a day. Okay, so what about in Japan? Have you ever visited Japan?
Oh, I've never been to there. Only my mom has been to there.
Okay, but as you search for Japan or having a little knowledge about Japan, okay, so what do you think are the things that actually shocks a person when they've ever visited
Maybe
Japan?
there are very high chance that they will be shocked by how many vending machines there are. There's just a
Okay,
whole lot of them there.
that one. Okay.
Yes, there's a
As
lot of vending machine
okay,
here.
what
It looks like
about
it is. Oh, also I see that there's a lot of things
mm-hmm,
that are abnormal here. Like how many cats are there in some special in some island in Japan? Like in some place there
mm-hmm.
could be a whole lot more cats than how many humans are living there. That is so
Okay.
weird to me.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it is also in Japan wherein there is a place or an island wherein lots of dolls, old dolls are in there. Okay, but I think it is in Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, but um, okay,
Uh,
how to say
Hello,
that
are
one
you
is,
there?
yeah, yeah, I'm still here. I'm like thinking of
No,
the
I just see
place.
that it's suddenly gone.
Okay,
Yes.
so, mm-hmm. What about
Okay.
the other countries or other nationalities show their respect to a foreigner? Okay, how can you
Mm.
differentiate it from your country, of course?
I think that probably they should try something like food or something
Mm-hmm.
to see how they get more differently.
Okay. They might show it differently or in different manners. Because in the Philippines, for example, when we see an old person, okay, we used to do this. Okay, we will grab their hands and then we will put their hand on our forehead as a sign of respect. We also use a po.
Oh, okay.
We also use a po and opo, which is a sign of also respect to the older ones. For example, um, can you excuse me po? Okay, and when the older person or the older people would ask us, for example, would ask me, um, are you done eating your food now, Rona? And I would say opo. Okay, that is how we use yes, or how we say the word yes. Okay. So what about in your country? How do you respect the older ones as a part of your cultural practices?
I think that I wouldn't actually just be I wouldn't actually just like on submit like I would ask something like yes, that's like a
Mm-hmm.
way to tell that you are paying respect to them. Yes.
Okay, that's it, or that maybe. Okay, what about the American countries would respect the older ones? What can you notice about them?
I think that it is very normal, not like it's not like it is something weird for me.
Okay, do you think it is
Uh
something weird? But in what way do you consider it as a weird one?
no, I didn't say it is weird.
Okay, I misheard it. But yes, why do you think some American countries could be considered as or can be noticed as weird when it comes to respecting other people?
Maybe they are having things that are abnormal, like about how they would be talking to the elderly one or the one they should be respecting. Yeah,
Okay,
there's a high
that's
chance that that is something weird about them.
okay, that is of course. And also is when they were talking to foreign people, okay, sometimes they would rather what use words and not to give okay, not to give impression, but to actually give an insult. Okay.
Yes, there's like a lot of things that is insulting. Yeah, they
Okay.
couldn't literally just insult a lot of things.
Okay, so those things they'd rather insult you than like letting you know how, for example, how good is your skin color, how pretty is your eyes, that it is not even bulky. Okay, so I think we are ready to proceed and now with with question two, number two or three. Okay, but yes, let's just
Yes.
review. Okay. What about number two? Is it important to know about other culture? Why do you think so?
I think that even if you are just like someone who is not planning on visiting them, and maybe having to know about their culture is still a bit important. Like, sometimes you may be quiz about it, or know a school or something. Yes, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes maybe knowing a bit about the culture may be something very a big different. Maybe you could share it to everyone and let everyone know about their very beautiful culture.
Okay, that's it. Okay, it is important also to know the other culture in order for us to what? In order for us to understand them, okay, or to adjust to their culture. Maybe for us, some things are meant to what? Some things are meant to what? To respect them, but in their side, maybe the move or the ways that we are doing it is actually a sign of disrespect, right?
Yes. So maybe if someone like that ever visit in some country, then you will still know how to actually react to them and not just like doing something that you normally do because that could be
Mm-hmm.
disrespectful to them.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
And also is okay, that is why we have a language class, right? I mean, a general class wherein we study English. For example, we have to at least have a basic knowledge on it. So whenever we will meet someone who can't really say, for example, a Vietnamese word or a Filipino word, we can use the basic English. Because okay, as I was
Yeah.
said or I keep on saying that English is our universal language. Meaning to say, whether we like it or not, okay, whether it is forced or maybe unforced, okay, we have to learn it. Okay, because we will be dealing with foreign people. Okay, that looks like their bread. Okay, the American bread, the long one. Okay, I mean in Germany. Okay, I've seen a very long bread. Okay, but it is not as colorful
Really?
as you were like painting. Okay.
What? Yes, it is colorful.
Okay. Okay,
I'm
what
sure
about
to you
this
that
one?
it is super colorful.
Uh-huh. What about, for
Yes,
example, mm, okay, every country has a different culture, of course, but what can you say about those people who would not consider anything as a part of the culture, who would rather focus on what they think is right, what they think is necessary, what they think should be considered, not those things that are suggested by a country's culture. So what can you say about them? And how do you think they deal
I think
with
that is.
mm-hmm,
I think that those people are a lot of things that they are having wrong about. Like what is culture? That is something that they are definitely wrong about.
okay.
Because culture can be many different things that I have said before. And
Uh-huh.
if they think that they are right, is really wrong because who knows? Maybe in other place that could be a culture, or maybe something that they do and call them as a culture, and not like they who just
Okay.
thinking that what they are doing is a culture.
Okay, that's it. And also is since we've mentioned earlier about okay the Christmas which is celebrated by the Christians, Okay, I've mentioned also the Muslims and the Hindus. Okay, now I want to know, can you consider
Yes, I have the
religion
ball
as
now.
the very first foundation of our culture?
And I think that if you're saying it, then it's technically true. It's not like it is wrong.
Okay, it isn't, it is. Okay. But okay, when you were going to judge things like that, uh-huh, how are you going to consider it?
I think that they shouldn't be very fun and not like too much being harsh on because that thing
Mm-hmm.
could be true.
Okay, that's it. And also is, I think, okay, aside from religion, there are other things that can be considered as foundation of one's culture. What do you think are those things?
And I think that where they start from, yes, that could be a culture.
Okay, of course, the things where someone starts from. Okay, very good. What about those legends? Okay, what about those legends? And let's say, is it scientifically proven or not? But yes, those things, like the creation of a man and a woman. Okay, what
Are you
about
talking
those?
about Adam and Eva?
Okay, Adam and Eve. That could be. Also, is some legends wherein are saying that we all came from mud. Okay, that the God
Hey,
divided.
teacher,
Uh huh.
teacher, I will be eating this one bread
Uh
for an
huh.
entire year. Can you believe me?
Oh my goodness, for
On
an
day one,
entire
I
year?
will divided the bread into four sides.
Uh huh.
And as a body of fat, I cannot eat all of it, so I will divide it into a lot of small pieces.
Okay,
Then
now,
I will eat one of the
okay.
half of the piece. That's what they want. And now it's day two. I will eat the half of the this bread. And day
Uh
three, I
huh.
will eat half of this bread. Day four, I will eat half of it. Day five, I will eat half of it. That's
Okay.
5 days, and this can I need more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Okay.
12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, and also there's some bigger piece like this, and there's still
Mm-hmm.
15 pieces left, which means I could still survive at least 2 more months. And by 2 months,